Love and Thunder and Miss Marvel are made. I originally planned to watch Love and Thunder in theaters despite the bad reviews. But since it's blocked in my country due to my country not accepting LGBT representations, I gotta watch it illegally on the internet. At this point I only watch this to be on alert for what's happening in the MCU, same for Miss Marvel. Okay, so let's start with Miss Marvel.
If you save one life, you save the world.
I was actually quite entertained by the first two episodes. In fact, I think they were actually great. The animations and drawings scattered everywhere is super creative. Those are definitely the best things in these two episodes. Have you seen that Feige tweet? There's this tweet where Feige asking the creators to not go too overboard with creative control. What? He wants everything to be boring? Because that's what the rest of the show end up being. The animations and drawings appear less and less throughout the series, and instead we have mildly interesting concept with boring execution. Give me more of this, and less of these. Also, I hate how many characters are shoved into the show with barely any time to develop. Kamala's great-grandmother's friend, who happens to be a Jinn, her goal is to get back to her realm, and halfway she becomes a villain alongside the other Jinns. And I hate this. She looked like an old aunt. She doesn't look intimidating in the least. Every other member just looks like normal thugs, no distinguishing features. It's boring. And then of course the Red Daggers. More characters being shoved in. Great. Do they seriously think I care for this dude's father? We barely spend any screen time with him. However, there's some good stuff in the show too. For instance, Power looks pretty cool, and her parents giving her the name Kamala meaning Marvel is very wholesome. Okay, let's move on to Thor.
This ends here and now! Marvel Studios' Thor: Love and Thunder. Rated PG-13. Tickets on sale now. How exciting!
Okay, so I come in with the lowest expectations possible. I already expected shitty jokes and bad green screen and effects. At the end of it, I'm just mildly disappointed. I feel nothing. Nothing in this movie impressed me. So to break it down, the worst thing in the movie is how they handle Thor and Gore. Thor is a complete dumbass every time he opens his mouth. He just says the stupidest thing ever. He used to be a badass in Ragnarok and Infinity War. In Ragnarok, sure, he is a bit goofy at times, but can be seen capable of leading his people. Here, he just seems clueless. Him destroying those aliens' temple, for a warrior that have lived for 1,000 years, he is sure bad at his job. Then we have Gore. Gore is underutilized. The first scene is so rushed. His daughter dies right away, and then he gets possessed by the sword and kills the god. Like, it happens so fast. Then all he does throughout the movie is kill gods off screen and then kidnaps some children. What they could have done, show him kill more gods, show how powerful those gods are, and show Gore as a formidable foe. Throughout this movie, Gore just feels like a minor inconvenience. Thor doesn't need to figure out a creative way to defeat him, it's just a standard fight. In Ragnarok, Hela is OP as hell. Thor in his god mode can't even leave a scratch on her, and instead through fighting, he sacrifices Asgard to defeat her. He makes something of a huge consequences to win. In this movie though, Gore doesn't fight head on. He keeps calling out this shadowy figure of his to handicap his enemies. He is weak on his own. I seriously thought that he would be the one who killed Zeus alongside the other gods, an all-out massacre, and then Thor have to find a creative way to defeat him. Also, Korg should definitely die. He's so annoying and his survival just makes no sense at all. The children having Thor power is also goofy as fuck. I guess it's because the children are pure, so that's why they are worthy. And I guess that makes sense. But in all honesty, that shouldn't be possible. That's just way too OP. Anyway, moving on to the comedy. The comedy goes beyond being just annoying to almost lore-breaking, with a restaurant attraction called Infinity Cones. Like, this is equivalent of naming a restaurant after the Holocaust or Hitler. Thanos snapped half of life in this universe. and you're making a profit out of it? I hate the Stormbreaker being jealous thing. It's stupid. It was never alluded to that Mjolnir and Stormbreaker are sentient beings. And also, this is exactly why I started hating One Piece. Usopp doesn't want to let Luffy leave the merry boat. They get into this super unnecessary fight, and Usopp treats the boat as if it's alive. And it apparently is alive. It's dumb and cringe. Now, on to the good things. Jane is probably the best character in this movie. For once, there's actual consequences. Mjolnir protecting Jane makes sense, and Mjolnir being able to shoot out to pieces is straight up badass. Only problem though, her helmet is retractable. I'm sick of this helmet opening aesthetic already. It's too obvious at this point, and it all looks the same. I prefer the scene with Heimdall didn't happen. They should have revealed that later on, maybe when Thor died too. It would have been a much neater end to Thor's arc. The black and white realm they fight on is pretty cool. The ending with Eternity is pretty sick. I'm glad they kill off Jane, and I'm surprised they have Thor take care of Thor's child. It's pretty nice and wholesome. Okay, for the ratings, Miss Marvel gets a 5 and Thor gets a 6. Okay, bye.